A novel called 2 Minute Silence, whose action takes place during the Armistice Day, 2 Minute Silence in 2023. It describes the actions of 99 different characters during the 2 Minute Silence.
In the 120 seconds of the silence, little Zwei made the train journey he must to the battlefield shrine with all the animals that the soldiers had eaten, displaced, that they had killed, with all the animals they petted at home. Long, silent train, eyes closed, and felt their warm bodies, enormous pork-bound flesh, their little blunt trauma wounds. 1,000 souls felt them close on the speed of light.
A novel in 30 chapters. 15 chapters tell the stories of people who drive. 15 tell the stories of people who can't drive. A road accident shatters the apparent boundary between the distinct chapters.
God Hades cannot drive. He is rich, unseen, but he hasn't got a car. You have to go to visit him as he's frightened after the crash in the high neck brace. When you catch him at the bus depot in the cycle lane in the train, he won't get on them. He won't climb on a bike, won't do it because he's scared of ending up in the ditch again. The winter, Queen Hera's got a car. It's a polluter. She is not afraid at all.
A novel featuring characters from other novels whose stories were incomplete or untold. Tessa's sister from Tessa the D'Urbervilles, Friday from Robinson Crusoe, Sancho Panza from Don Quixote, etc. They meet in a roadside tavern and exchange stories.
Young Ukraine, your story isn't told yet, though I saw you in the park in a kiss with a person you'd only just met, walking the island in an itinerant arm with them, and they'd never be finished. Leave it. In your love so passionate in a profound new way, war prince to the country, to stroke the face of a winter you'd only half seen, an unthinking tenderness, to press you, send you to the fields.
A novel that is a sequel to the novel Tapestry, called Blister and Pox, which follows the adventures of Blister and Pox beyond the end of the novel, across the Channel to France and beyond. They travel through war-torn countryside, attempting to escape the Normans, eventually crossing the Alps and making their way by raft to Sicily, where, rather than finding the peaceful seclusion they have been in search of, they encounter the Norman armies once again.
Dying, was lingering some time at the shipping terminus, waiting in my car. Stories of the Norman armies kept me alive. Arrived by crate was only the stories of the Norman army that brought me to life. Imaginary animals crawl over their famished bodies, famished animals with a light burning through them. The burnt wheat field where I hung on life. Death, life and death brought me home.
A novel set in the 17th century, narrated by a French trader in beaver pelts, that explores the effects of smallpox on the Iroquois, Mohican and Huron tribes of North America, depicting the decimation of populations to the point where some tribes are almost completely wiped out, as in the last of the Mohicans, but not by guns, as in Fenimore Cooper, but by disease.
The dance of the trap pelt up the walls night temple in which they put the corpse, the invader's body into a shrine of rock, where sharp lions, beaver, mythical fuse gun gods play in the light of their native state, and the disease is in all of them, in the substance of their indigenous threat, led by the pharynx, feature of the cave god wall, led with an ivory hand, the hollow Takena.
A novel in which an epidemic of bubonic plague breaks out in Chelmsford. Anyone showing symptoms is required to self-isolate and treated with antibiotics. For 3 weeks, the epidemic is successfully contained until it breaks out in a care home where 50% of the residents die within a week. From here, carried by peripatetic nurses, it starts spreading rapidly to other care homes across the city. Chelmsford is quarantined to stop the spread of the disease, but it's too late. People, some of whom carry the disease, have already fled in panic. It breaks out in Malden, Colchester, Dedham, Thorpe-le-Soken, Wickford.
Sports admin win, so we have set up hubs in Yarmouth, Thetford, the northern villages, facilitate children to play handball free from noise, keep the travelling community off the court. They've spoilt everyone's game with their dogs, so close in the school, keep it closed veil. None can hear the ball as it is battered around. Look in your daughter's eyes, peripatetic, then the atoms, then the disease.
A novel containing only the chapter titles. The rest is left blank to be completed by its readers.
Go get the nurse. Nurse the station. Arrived at all in blue. The battle for nurse. At the shrine. Wide beautiful house. Dark blue gowned nurse. Lay down. The shift. At the window. The hospital gown. Where is the army in the carriage? The soldier. His leg shot through, singing, name carved on the station seat. Go get the black, the deepest shade, drunkest, darkest blue.
A novel set in the Garden of Eden while Adam is asleep. Eve explores the garden for the first time on her own. In the final chapter, Adam wakes up and sees Eve is no longer at his side. He pursues her, and when he finds her, he strikes her. "Where have you been?" he says. It is Adam's anger and jealousy that spell the end of Eden, not the forbidden fruit.
Who's that hunched in a ball, in a sunlit municipal dark garden? I think it is you, Satan, crying out your devil's eyes. So, no one wants to listen to your song, I know. But why did you have to do such crimes? Now they will take you up, put you on a stick, yes. Sing dances of the serpent dole, boys marching, sing them horror, and the hunter might know, might listen to your damnation song in their park.
A novel set at an airport where, because of some catastrophe, the passengers cannot leave the building. The catastrophe, it turns out, is a triple murder of a pilot, their co-pilot, and their lover, a transgender air hostess. The police arrive and quickly begin interviewing suspects. Everyone in the building is under suspicion.
Contemplate the mystery of the airport. We need to be fitter than ever before. Sharp lines, our story. When planes get off Earth, we need to be in perfect shape, honest with the sky, the soil, not an ounce of fat on us. The girls at the check-in counter cleaning the trunk of the plane, they know, so get on board, trim, coherent. There is a heaven to be done, an eternal plane to help us slip away.
A novel that reinvents the novel form. A work of genius that is submitted to a literary agent. The agent doesn't like it and asks the novelist to make changes. The changes are made. Still, the agent is not satisfied. She asks for further changes, clearer signalling, fuller characters, a more recognisable plot. Finally, after 2 years of revisions, the agent is satisfied. The book is published. It is a sensation and goes on to win several prizes, topping the bestseller lists for a month. But it is no longer a novel of genius. It is a pale copy of other books that have won the same prizes sold as many copies, but has similarly been overhyped. That's it, thank you.